where it's now on the ground at Larnaca International Airport. The hijacker on board had threatened to detonate an explosives belt. We still don't know if that individual does indeed have explosives or weapons on him. A crisis team has been negotiating with the hijacker on the ground. The hijacker has already let most of the passengers off, but there are still 7 people on board, though, including 3 passengers. Well, Sharif Abdelkadous has been covering this story for us from Cairo, and he joins us now from there. Sharif, the Minister of Civil Aviation just wrapped up a press conference not long ago. Give us some of the key details that came out of that.
Right. Well, he did confirm the flight took off at around 6:30 a.m. from Alexandria heading to Cairo. At about 20 minutes into the flight, one of the passengers threatened the pilot to detonate what appeared to be an explosives belt. He requested the flight be diverted to Turkey or Cyprus. The flight eventually landed in Cyprus at about 7:50 a.m., so just a little over an hour after it initially took off. There were 55 passengers on board. About 21 of them were foreigners, and all of them have been released except for 7. 7 people are still on board: the captain, the co-pilot, a female air hostess, the air marshal, and 3 passengers, although their nationalities have not been revealed. The Egyptians are sending a plane to Cyprus to pick up the passengers who have been released and to bring them back to Cairo. The identity of the hijacker is still unknown. Egyptian state media initially reported that his name was Ibrahim Samaha. That has since been refuted. And another name has been bandied around by the presidential spokesperson, saying that the name of the hijacker is in fact Saifuddin Mustafa, who's an Egyptian national as well, although I think we should wait until we have a confirmation from the Civil Aviation Ministry, since when pressed by reporters, he refused to reveal the name of the hijacker himself. So initially, the other name, it appears, was actually he was one of the released hostages. So despite that coming from state media, it was incorrect. Again, the Cypriot president has said that this is not a case of terrorism. That this appears to be something to do with an estranged wife in Cyprus. Again, this is unconfirmed so far, but reports that the hijacker demanded a letter be delivered to his estranged wife, who's Greek Cypriot. Unconfirmed reports that she's been brought into negotiations so far. So we'll have to wait and see how this develops. It's unclear whether the suicide belt or this explosives belt is in fact genuine or not, but it's being treated as a very genuine threat, and negotiations are underway.
It seem, Sharif, there is still a lot of confusion. This is a very fluid situation. We're hearing now from Cyprus, from their state broadcaster, that the hijacker is asking for release of prisoners in Egypt. So it seems like there's a lot of uncertainty about what these motives could be. Talk to us a bit more now, if you will, just about the security processes. If this person does have an explosive belt, which is still not sure, would it have been possible for him to have gotten it on through the airport at Alexandria?
Well, as we know from the incident in October in Sharm el-Sheikh, an airport for mostly a holiday destination in Sinai, terrorists reportedly got on explosives onto that plane and detonated it, and killing all 220 passengers on board. The ISIS affiliate in Sinai claimed responsibility for that attack. The ISIS official magazine, Dabiq, published photos that they purported were of the type of explosives that it was, and it was hidden in a soda can with a detonator. These airport security in Egypt has been criticized as being very lax, especially for a domestic flight that would leave from a smaller airport like Burj Al Arab, which is the airport in Alexandria that this flight did take off from. There is less stringent security measures. There's been criticism of lax security precautions taken at airports in Egypt. The civil aviation minister, when pressed during the news conference about security precautions in Egypt, really dodged most of those questions and refused to answer, saying that their procedures have been audited by outside parties and that their results are being taken into account. So it's clearly, it's possible it has happened in the past, in the not too recent past in Egypt. But again, we have to couch all these all this analysis as well, given that this individual may not in fact have genuine explosives on his person, that it may be the threat of it, and it's still unclear. He does appear to be unstable, but if this latest news, again unconfirmed, if he's asking for the release of Egyptian prisoners, that would really change the nature of the situation. It's a much more political hijacking, and that would definitely fall into a more serious and political event.